The concept of a war god, or warrior god, is common among most belief systems around the world. Humans are fond of war, and it makes sense that we raise this particular deity to a place of worship and nobility. But this consistent representation gives us an opportunity to investigate common threads in how people worshipped, feared and represented their gods. To understand the war god, we must first know the war god. We begin with Kemetic Kushite representations of beings. They identify as originating in the Sirius star system. Ancient Kemetic. We understand that followers of ancient Kemetic philosophy do not use the terminology god but instead identify these beings, or forces, as Netes. For conversational context and ideological comparatives, we will use this term for this and other relevant work. Anana was a god of war, who was worshipped in the Kemetic area of Abydos, and particularly in Thinis. His symbols were ostrich plumes, the lion, and the spear. His siblings are Tefnut, Shu, and Bastet. Bast, cat-headed goddess associated with war, protection of Lower Kemet and the pharaoh, the sun, perfumes, ointments, and embalming. She was the warrior daughter and defender of Ra, who sent her to fight his archenemy Apep. As protectress, she was seen as defender of the pharaoh. Her symbols are the lioness, the cat, ointment jar, and the sistrum. Her major cult center was Bubastis. Her siblings are Harrow and Anana. Next is Harrow, mentioned previously as a brother of Bast. Harrow is the Nether associated with kingship, the sky, and war. He was given the last title after his long battle against his uncle Set, who will also make this list. The legacy of Harrow is in the establishment of kingship. His symbol is the famed Eye of Horus. His parents are Ausa and Orset. His major cult centers were at Nekhin and Edfu. Siblings were Anubis and Bastet. Mahes, the ancient Kemetic lion god of war. Both a god of war, and a guardian, and a lord of the horizon. He was believed to help Ra fight against Apep in the solar bark each night. He was a god who protected the pharaoh while he was in battle. His symbols are the lion, a knife or a sword. His parents are Papa and Bast or Sekhmet. His major cult center were at Tarimu and Pabast. Menhit was the foreign war goddess of Nubian origin. Her name Menhit translates into the slaughterer, the one who sacrifices or she who massacres. Montu is a falcon-headed god of war, valor, and the sun. He represents the fighting vigor of the pharaoh. His major cult center were at Hermontis, Thebes, and Madam. His consorts were Ratoi, Chinania, and Dinit. His offspring are unknown. Nathe, an ancient goddess of war and weaving. She was the patron goddess of the Red Crown of Lower Kemet and the city of Zau in the Delta. According to the Iunit cosmology, Nathe was the creator of the world and the mother of the sun, Ra. Her symbols were bow, shield, crossed arrows, and the Ankh. Her major cult centers were Yansei and Esna. Her consorts were Khnum and Set. Her offspring were Sobek, Ra, Apep, and Tutu. Parkit is an ancient Kemetic war goddess, whose following was centered in the area of Beni Hassan during the Middle Kingdom. She is believed to be a combined form of Bastet of Lower Kemet, and Sekhmet of Upper Kemet, whose functions she has likewise assimilated. Her name means, she who scratches, and her most common form was that of a lion-headed humanoid. Sekhmet, as mentioned in the entry on Parkit, is a goddess of warfare, pestilence, and the desert. She is one of the oldest deities, and one of the most powerful. She is a member of the Memphite triad together with husband Papa, the god of creation and wisdom, and son Nefertum, the god of sunrise. She is depicted as a lioness. She was seen as the protector of the pharaohs and led them in warfare. Her symbols are the sun disk, red linen, and the lioness. Her cult center was Memphis. Her husband is Papa, and her children are Nefertum and Imhotep. Set is the Kemetic god of war, chaos and storms, brother of Ausa, Orset, uncle to Harrow the Younger, and brother-husband to Nephthys. His other consort was the goddess Taurit, a hippo-headed deity, who presided over fertility and childbirth. Set is best known for murdering his brother Ausa, and the long war that he waged, and lost, to his nephew Harrow the Younger. In all there are 10 Netes, historically associated with war. In ancient Berber religion, Gurzil was a bull-shaped war god who became identified with the son of Amun, Ammon. He was taken by the Berbers to their battles against the Romans. Apodimk was a lion-headed warrior god worshipped by the Motic peoples inhabiting Nubia. Nubia of course shares strong cultural bonds with Kemet, which are reflected in the lion-headed humanoid personification. His cult center was probably Musor at Es-Sufra, but temples at Naka and Meroe were dedicated to his deification. He also was considered the war god of Kush. The Kushites believed that Apedemoc brought victories to their armies and defeated their enemies. When Kushite pharaohs carried out military campaigns, they often claimed the support and companionship of Apedemoc. Ethiopian god of war. Ma, or Maham, is a god of the Aksumites and the Himyarites of Ethiopia. He is the son of the supreme god Ashtar. In his role as the war god, he was the protector of Ethiopia. West African brings the beliefs of the Yoruba, who, like the Kushites and Kem of North Africa, developed a well-articulated pantheon of deities. These were the Orisha, which is composed of about 400 beings who are similarly associated with concepts like love, marriage and war. Ogun is the Orisha who presides over fire, iron, hunting, politics, and war. Ogun is a widely venerated deity having great influence in both his native Africa, the Caribbean and South America into modern times. He is a god that appears in several African religions including the Yoruba, Haitian Voodoo, and African Voodoo. In the Caribbean, this Orisha appears in Santeria religion where he is linked to Saint Peter, Santiago and John the Baptist. He is a warrior and a powerful spirit of metal work, as well as of rum and rum making. He is also known as the god of iron. Hittite mythology. Shoshka is a Hittite goddess of fertility, war and healing. She is depicted in human form, with wings, standing with a lion and accompanied by 2 attendants. She was worshipped throughout the region known as Han-Galbat, which is present-day Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. From the time of the Hurrians, circa 3300 BCE, through the kingdom of Mitanni, 1500 to 1240 BCE, throughout the Hittite Empire, 1344 to 1245 BCE, and beyond. In Mesopotamian mythology there is Bellis, a Babylonian god of war. Bellis was an ancient king, who founded Babylon, and built the ziggurat. He is recognized and worshipped as the god of war. It is the prayer and sacrifices of his people that sustain his life. Inanna is the Sumerian goddess of sex and war, justice and political power. She is among the most influential deities of any belief system on earth. Inanna, as her myth indicates, is both a powerful, attractive and repulsive force at once. She is the daughter of the Anunnaki deity, Enlil, or Enki. She unleashes the bull of heaven on an innocent earth. After being spurred by the Uruk king, Gilgamesh, she attempted to usurp the underworld kingdom of her sister, but was defeated. But still she has manifested worship in Babylonian, Etruscan, Canaanite, and Greek mythology. Her abode is in heaven. She is linked to the planet Venus. Her symbol is the hook-shaped knot of reeds, 8-pointed star, lion, rosette, and the dove. Nergal, Babylonian god of war, fire, the underworld, and pestilence. In his aspect of a war god, Nergal accompanies the king into battle, delivering death to the enemy. Death brought on by Nergal also had a supernatural dimension, disease often being attributed to demonic agency. Nergal controls a variety of demons and evil forces, most notoriously the Elusabetic, the 7 gods who are agents of death and destruction. He is linked to the planet Mars. His consort is Ereshkigal. His parents are Enlil and Ninlil. His siblings are Nana and Ninurta. Papnijangara, Lord of the Boundary Stone, is an Akkadian and Babylonian god of war. The Sabiti are a group of 7 minor war gods in Babylonian and Akkadian tradition. They are the children of the god Anu and follow the god Era into battle. They are, in differing traditions, of good and evil influence. Shala is an Akkadian and Babylonian goddess of war and grain. She is consort of the storm god Hadad. In ancient depictions, she carries a double-headed mace or scimitar embellished with lion heads. Shara, in Babylonian and Sumerian beliefs, she is venerated on the stele of Ushumgal, circa 2900 to 2700 BCE. Her cult center was in the city of Umma. Shulmanu is a god of the underworld, fertility, and war. His cultural influences include his native Eastern Semitic people, but would spread among Western Semitics such as the Arameans and Canaanites. This concludes part 1 of the complete list of war deities, Africa to the Middle East. Look for part 2 soon. In the meantime, enjoy our other video presentations. Be sure to like and subscribe.